Welcome to Emmitt Rodgers is Not Impressed. I'm joined today by James Woolston um, and Jaden Rogers. What's got you tickled?
I didn't know what the title was. It's really funny.
Yeah,
Now I feel pressure because I feel like I'm in the interview seat. Well, Emmitt Rodgers is not impressed.
I thought I went over a lot of different names. And that's just the one that felt the most true to myself.
I mean, I like the title.
Because who I'm joined by, like I just mentioned, is my wife Jaden, who's also producer of the show.
She's definitely not impressed.
No, but she's commented many times on how I don't react the way that she would like me to.
Yeah,
I don't react with nearly as much excitement as I
he
should.
always looks unimpressed.
It's like my scoutmaster. You're just like him.
Yeah, and you've said that before, which I don't know that guy, but no, that's been a thing for a while. I thought about Emmitt Rodgers Can't Get Enough, but that just didn't.
But you really can get enough.
Yeah, that just didn't say. It seemed like I was lying. So I thought, what's more true to the situation? Rogers is not impressed, and so when we interview people, it gives me the liberty to be more free and honest with, I think, with everybody that we're seeing.
I didn't like that.
And James, we were just talking before we started about a really big move that happened. What are you laughing about?
Yeah, for producer, really
You
well
both are
professional.
pretty giddy this morning.
Oh, that's okay.
There was a big move that just happened that you both were pretty involved in. I would actually say more involved than I was.
There wasn't a single Roger there except for her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, exactly. Yeah. So I kind of want to talk about that only because you walked in here and mentioned this place is really coming together. There's a lot of things on the wall, and you guys helped my dad move, which was really, really big because he'd been living there basically since I was born, which is almost, they've been there about 25 years almost. And my dad has always been someone that's been like, I'm gonna die here, I'm content. This is my place forever. But he was really, really itching to get out, and you guys have really, really helped him through all that. So you look around, and there's a lot of like knickknacks, a lot of cool collectible things that he passed down that he said he wanted me to have that are now a part of the office where we're doing this podcast. Kind of, first off, wanted to thank you for your contributions and just like you both are pretty solemn about it. You want to talk about it?
Oh, no, I just let you talk.
We were listening.
I was talking a lot. Space because no one else was.
Well, when you said
I was running out of things to say.
when you said that he was gonna die there, I mean, I feel like when we went back to clean the area, it definitely looked like he was dying there. Yeah, it looked like a giant
Oh,
like a giant rat had made their home in the home because it was it's very depressing.
Very.
It was still depressing when it was clean too.
yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to live there.
Well, with all the history, yeah, it was just a depressing place. But,
Yeah,
um,
it
But this-
definitely was very just. You could tell that the person living there was in a state of like deep depression because it was just, there was no life there.
Did she
Yeah.
tell you that she cleaned out the fridge?
yes, she did.
That,
Oh.
if anything, that better prove how much I love you.
I
But-
think. Well, what was it?
Right.
I had a mask on, and we opened up the freezer, and I said, "Man, oh, that stinks." And she goes, "I can't smell it." And then about like 10 seconds later, she goes, "Oh, and like it hit her like a truck."
So much so that she I guess she was offended and left.
Yeah, I guess she was smelling it in her head.
So, no, that's good. So let me start again.
Yeah.
Welcome to Emmitt Rodgers is Not Impressed. I'm joined today by James Woolston, my co-host. I am no longer joined by Jaden Rogers, the producer.
Not yet.
No, she is not impressed with this intro. That
So much
sucks so far.
So much so she left.
But this room is there's a lot of cool think there's a lot of legacy in this room, which is why I think it's perfect for this podcast.
Oh yeah, there's. I'm actually glad you have space to hang all these up because I remember giving you some of these posters. And they were kind of on the floor for a while. They look good, kind of being up on an actual wall now instead of just collecting dust on the floor.
Absolutely.
Especially in that basement.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say so. There's one of my favorite things on this wall, which is kind of pointed to my guest for this podcast that we're going to be talking about. One of my favorite things on this wall is right behind you.
I knew you were gonna point that out.
Which what is that? What am I looking at there?
Oh, you're looking at Buddy the Elf. Little trying to make a joke. No, that was
Go ahead. You
yeah.
Keep going.
No.
Try again.
No. That was that was me in high school.
It's okay.
Sophomore year.
We can just cut it out and act like it was perfect the one time.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say little twink boy behind me over there.
Yeah.
But no. That was me in me sophomore year of high school. And I was double casted. I was casted as Buddy the Elf, along with another guy named Logan Starkey. And I probably shouldn't have said his name. But it was another guy.
We don't want to give him any more clout.
No, because he was a senior, and he was a senior, I was a sophomore, and he was like the complete opposite of me. I was like, I think because I had, especially when I had started high school, I had just gotten out of being like short and fat, and for some reason it was like someone took me and stretched me, so you can like see you could see. I looked anorexic essentially, and so I was like this skinny, fresh out of private school. I was this skinny, fresh out of private school, like boy, and then you had this almost nihilistic senior with brown hair that I think no offense to him, I think he was a good actor. I think the only reason he was cast is because he was a senior and he was probably the second best. It was probably one of the other candidates that was good for the role, only because he was very much like not monotone because he was a good actor, but he looked like he would play an emo character in a film. He didn't necessarily look like a Buddy. I don't know.
I'm sorry. That sounds like a really interesting story, but Jane has been sending me subliminal messages this whole time, and setting her bottles down, which is really great producer people. What were you trying to say to me?
I was trying to say that could you hand me those?
What?
That's headphones.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Because she doesn't want to listen. She
That's
doesn't
it.
want to listen.
Want to listen? Could you recap what he just said?
Yeah, he was talking about one of the seniors that was, well, he used the phrase second best. And
I didn't mean to say that.
a good candidate for the role of Buddy the Elf. And he was talking about how he was so skinny, and he was, what, you were a sophomore, or were you a freshman?
I was a sophomore at
Sophomore?
that time.
So
Yeah.
podcast
See, I was
is-
listening.
this podcast is in good hands.
I wanted
Because
to
I remember
say that
there
on
was
that
This is a
page.
great start.
It looks like you're shocked that there's a new dog park that's being planned at Fergby Lane.
Oh, he was great. You were great as Buddy. You were fantastic. I thought. Everybody was talked about it. Like anytime you were playing Buddy, it was like, oh, he was supposed to play. Yeah, you heard the scuttlebutt of the behind the scenes rumors that were going on.
What were the rumors that were going on behind the scenes?
Well, not really rumors.
Oh. Well,
Originally, there was someone else beside you and somebody else. Somebody else was offered the role of Buddy originally.
Who else was it besides Logan Starkey?
I was.
You were offered it? Really?
And I said I put down Walter Hobbs, and they let me be Walter Hobbs.
Can you imagine you as Buddy?
Yeah, that's what I said. Because in the audition was that mall scene, right? When it was you and the guy. I can't think of it. He had like a name tag that was a woman's name.
Oh, yeah, it was the I know the guy's
Yeah.
face. in the
Santa
film.
Claus is coming to town.
It was pretty sure it was Maya that played that.
Yeah, Maya. Yeah. So I did that audition, and I did Buddy, and I went to like level 100 with it. I was like screaming, and they were laughing quite a bit. But I just felt like it would be way more natural for me to play Walter Hobbs.
I would agree. That's probably why they offered the roles because you gave it like 100% because they're looking for like someone that's not going to be monotone.
Yeah.
But I think Walter Hobbs was a lot better a character for you.
Well,
no,
no one would have believed it.
that would have been no. I'm trying to think. That would have been super funny.
It would have been rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But you and I would never have really acted together.
Yeah.
If that were the case.
Well, we would have just had like blocking sessions together.
I would have been looking at your back, dancing to "Sparkle, Jolly, Twinkle, Jingly" on the nights that I was in Buddy.
I actually quite missed that show because that was so much fun.
That was a good one.
Although there was a lot of like initially there was drama with it too because I remember I almost didn't take the role because and it was a really stupid reason and I recognize that now and one of the reasons I almost didn't take it was because at the time I was I was dating Maya.
Yeah.
Should I be using like names on the
I
podcast?
don't care.
Okay.
No,
Well, I was
sued.
well, I was dating her. I was dating her at the time, and there was another girl playing Jovi, and she has to like it's really innocent. She has to like kiss me on the cheek at some point, and I think some of the cast members were saying like, "Oh, they'd make such a cute couple" or something like that.
Sure.
And she was getting a little jealous about it,
Sure.
and it caused no little amount of stress in the beginning. I almost didn't take it, and then I did. I'm glad I did because that was a really stupid reason. It's like, come on, it's a musical. I don't know. It was one of those things. It was so silly.
Let me ask you something. Is his blithering and blathering, is that boring you?
No.
Well, clearly it is
You're
because
playing
you
the
haven't been
producer very
you haven't been
well
paying attention.
And I
know.
mean that.
The producer role, you haven't really given me the actual like criteria of what I'm supposed to do other than you're a producer.
Oh, I gave you the role.
Yeah.
You didn't want the role.
No, I wanted it. I just didn't know what all like it would
You have no idea what a producer does?
no.
Is that what you're saying?
Sounds like a
Then you're a perfect producer.
sounds like a gaslighting
There you
session.
go.
So I gave you the role, and you didn't want it. No, you told me you didn't want it.
No, you're perfect then. You fit right in because producers, they don't even know what they do.
Okay, well,
Nobody
that's
knows what a producer does.
See, so then why criticize?
But you're a producer.
So
Then you're also on the podcast right now.
That's correct.
What are you doing?
However, I'm
What are
being
you doing?
playing Gossip Harbor.
You're playing
I'm
Gossip
merging
Harbor.
shells to make someone's order correct. Why they need shells, I don't know.
Yeah, you've fit into the role of a mom because you remind me of my mom playing games on her iPad. They're all mobile games.
Well,
They're all mobile games.
this intro, this has been really, really fun. This has been really good. And I think it
He's not impressed.
promises a bright future. I think that was just the best title far and away. One, because it's true and it makes
And
sense, but
two,
two, because I
because you
came up with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. All right, well, let's just get into it.
Oh, so we haven't gotten into it yet?
That was the intro.
Oh, okay.
You know, like an appetizer for like a dinner.
Hopefully.
That was that. That was.
By
it.
the time that we're done with the podcast series, we're on episode 30.
There's gonna be so much fluff that
And
needs to.
Do you want me to?
We'll all lock in by then.
Do you want me to get off of Gossip Harbor? Is that why you keep eyeing me up?
No, I know. Keep
No, you could, but you could,
collecting seashells or whatever you're doing.
you could, participate.
Jeez. You're yapping. I'm listening.
Yeah,
You're yapping.
you know,
I'm listening.
but yapping
You just wanna
ends
listen to
with
yapping.
interjection.
Listen to the podcast after the podcast.
Why don't you just move on?
My guest today has been already teased subtly in this intro. He's on my wall. His face is on my mug that I'm sipping out of, and his butt is in my chair. James Woolston. Try
Hi.
your best. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm everywhere.
James,
Some would say I saw him first.
James, thank you. What does that mean?
Mm.
James, thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, no problem.
You know,
Good to be here.
you're the co-host as well. You're not really
Yeah.
a special guest.
I'll always be here. So
You're the special guest today because we don't have a special guest.
hey, I'll fill that role. I feel good to fill that role.
And you're the co-host. This is episode 1. There's 0 expectations. I'd say the opposite actually is true. People don't expect much from me. I think because of what I've given them so far.
And you're never impressed, so I can basically say whatever I want.
I'm also not impressive, ever.
Okay.
I want to start out by saying I don't think I would be doing this without you, and I say that just about every project I ever do. And it all started, the origin, before we really get into what we're working on now and our films and everything, like the origin of all of this nonsense of doing everything with you started with what we were talking about in the intro with Elf.
Oh yeah. You could even like push it back further if you want, like freshman year, but certainly with Elf being like, it was all when you came up to me and were like, hey, I can't remember what you said. You're like, I have to apologize. I hated you for a while, but you're a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, same here. So, handshake and then the play.
Cliff Notes. Those are the Cliff Note versions, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that, yeah, we hated each other at first.
I feel like that's how all the best friendships start. Is with mutual hatred.
I would think so. Did you hate me at first?
No. But I didn't really know you. I just thought you were
Didn't
funny.
stop me.
Or else you would have hated.
It didn't stop me from hating.
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't think we said probably 2 sentences to each other.
I did think that he was kind of, not mean, but just like
Talk about him or me?
him. Not you.
I was
No,
like,
you
I was
were
like, man, I must have like hit it off in like
He
a
was
bad
kicking
way.
puppies
No. Emmitt was always just the guy that was like, oh, hey, how are you? Like somebody would say, hey, how are you doing? He's just like, good. That was it. Like you would say something to him, hey, you did a good job. Thanks. And just would like keep walking.
Even then, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
Never.
He was never impressed.
You had your kid and you were like, oh, this is it.
So, you started.
I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
twins.
Even now, I wake up and I roll over. I'm like, she freaks out. Hey, he's rolling. He's not crawling.
He's not walking. He hasn't said dad yet.
He's not paying taxes. He's not going to a 9 to 5.
He doesn't pay rent. He doesn't have a 401k.
Yeah. So, high school was your earliest experience in acting.
No,
Right?
no, that's not true.
Okay.
Because in private school we had like plays. We had, but they weren't like. I find that, and I'm not going to go into this tangent, but I find that like.
Demystify it.
Well, no,
because
because
I didn't know it went back that far.
No, but I'm thinking about this. There's a problem with Christian culture in the sense that they feel the need to create their own subcultures.
Oh yeah.
Like, in specifically in media, that's how you get like God's Not Dead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as opposed to like good, well-written characters like
Don't get me started.
like Desmond
or else
and
I will make the whole episode about that.
oh yeah, well then like in like Desmond Doss and Hacksaw Ridge, I think that's a very much a well-written character. Anyway.
Yeah.
I say that because we would do these like Christian plays that were very much like they were like there was one called The Joy Store, and it was about toys. So the way that we would do it is everyone would be in the play. Everyone would be in the play. So the entire school would be in the play.
Regardless of if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, you are going to be in the
expected.
play.
Yeah.
But I mean, the school itself only has a couple hundred kids, if that. The whole school. So I mean, you've been in the auditorium. We have them at FFCA. We have them in there, and so the backside would be kind of all the kids, and they would do like motions and sing.
Yeah.
And then the older kids usually would get maybe a speaking role on the stage. And so when I started getting into 6th, 7th, 8th was when the cast would be like
6, 7.
everyone
everyone
that was watching just
I
stopped.
showed. I don't know if it was one of her siblings or anything, or maybe it was. I think I showed you once. But when are we gonna? What was it? 8, 9.
Yeah, that.
I'd love to adapt that.
Do it whenever I'm around Colin, honestly, because he'd probably hate it.
11.
But
Sorry.
no. That's kind of where I had acting roles was in like from fifth onward. Like I think the first one of the first acting roles I had was like maybe it wasn't the first. It was got this guy named Casey who was like a baseball player, but he like strikes out spectacularly.
That was your first role?
Yeah, it was like Casey
Really?
Casey from Mudville, and like
Casey from Mudville was your.
yeah,
I'm learning so much.
which
already.
I'm pretty sure that's a direct reference to an actual story about that.
Yeah.
But they just put it into the Christian play. It was
As they do.
yeah,
And you know what? I recently, from this whole moving my dad, came across a lot of home videos, family videos on like I don't know, like a camcorder that we had growing up.
Mhm.
We're watching one that I've identified as like December 2006. Everyone was talking. It was my dad's birthday party, and everyone was Christmas tree was up, talking about going to see Rocky Balboa in theater. So that's the only explanation for that. And he's opening gifts, and one of them he starts laughing a ton. He unwraps it, he looks at it, and he's a huge fan of 24. I have at least three things of 24 here. I have the whole box set. Huge Jack Bauer fan, and he opens it, and it's 24. It's a book, and it's 24 themed, and it's called Jack Bauer Has a Bad Day, and they're devotionals. They will take that is not a Christian show, but they will take anything
24
in
new
pop
oceans.
culture and shoehorn. This is a true story. Put them in the Joy Store.
Yeah, but because you should have saw how the Joy Store was. It was like this toy maker, and apparently all the kids in the back were supposed to be like living toys, and so
So you,
or maybe
Santa
maybe
Claus.
maybe not living toys. I don't know. That's how I envisioned it as a kid. But like, it was the Joy Store where basically they're toys, but we tell you about Christ essentially.
There's such
And
a
this guy
happy-go-lucky
and this
title.
guy and this
Sounds
guy
creepy.
well this guy and it's a direct reference. I forgot exactly the company's name, but his name was FAO Schmaltz or something like that. But of course, but like
No, it wasn't.
it's like a yeah, it was. He had a whole song. It was like I FAO Schmaltz, and then and like, but the problem is that the actually I'm friends with the guy that was him. The problem is that he didn't want to sing. He really couldn't sing, but he was one of those things where it's like
That
I
makes
think
it
I
even
think
better.
he could sing, but he didn't want to.
Yeah.
And so he
That
had
makes for
so he
something
had a
else.
son, like he had a son, a character on stage,
Yeah.
and he would sing. So instead of him saying,
A son.
yeah, instead of him introducing himself as I'm FAO Schmaltz, his son would be like, his son would go, he's FAO Schmaltz, and he would sing about him, and he'd be like this on stage. And
So he didn't want to sing.
no, he
so
did.
they
He just
had someone else sing for him.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, the kid wasn't a character that was written in. He was a real character, but he didn't sing. But now the kid sang because he didn't he didn't want to sing.
Wow.
And of course, I also played. I think in 8th grade, I played like a store owner or something. I don't. It had to have been. It was some kind of store owner. It was a Christmas play.
And that's believable too.
Yeah, because well, it was just all my role was just cranky store owner about like don't
Okay.
I don't want to offend people. Don't mention Christ. Say happy holidays, and then like
Wow.
stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like that. To wrap it up, that was
Like-
like my first kind of acting
You were
experience.
kind of already alluding to Kamala Harris then.
How dare we say Merry Christmas? How dare we? Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Wow. So you actually played a cranky character.
oh yeah, I played
Well, that would have been the last time then.
yeah, actually.
Until our films.
Yeah,
probably.
actually, I think because then ever since like because I think my first role in high school because that was kind of my first acting in like actual other shows that were
Sure.
like
Yeah.
it
yeah.
felt in high school, as high school as it was, it felt more professional. It was cool to be on an actual like stage like that instead of a church auditorium.
Yeah.
And so, my first role was in Schoolhouse Rock Junior. That was so, and I was in the
Yes.
ensemble. Of course, the play before that was The Liar, and I did like Spotlight for tech because I was too nervous to actually try out. And then I actually tried out, and I was like,
You
okay,
weren't missing much.
I
I
think
think you were spared.
I was spared. That was a mercy of not being in that show because I remember cringing on the third floor, like 30,
Yeah.
40 feet up. I'm
You were in
like,
the best place in the house, probably.
yeah,
In the shadows,
it was,
hiding.
because I also had a headset so I could talk to the techies, and it's like,
And
yeah,
I
it
went
was
to the
bad.
meeting for that.
Really?
I was in the Liar meeting because I wanted to. As soon as I hit high school, we didn't have any drama before that. As soon as I hit high school, I wanted to do it. Um, I don't know if it was fear or if I was busy or what. I was in marching band at the time. That took up a lot of time. But the Liar, yeah, I wanted to do that at first. And I don't know if maybe I just missed auditions. I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't join until sophomore year. Which
Yeah.
brings us to Elf.
Oh yeah, that was, I think Elf was kind of like my first big role, like actual solo role, because I didn't really know
Yeah.
how to sing. That's actually where Mrs. Hill taught me how to sing.
And you impressed immediately.
Let's go.
They ever since then they couldn't stop casting you.
Well, I think
in
also they
lead
didn't have that.
roles.
I feel like they didn't really have that many males
Don't
either.
sell yourself short.
Okay, well, they didn't really have a lot of
I think
males.
you're missing an adjective there. I don't think they had many good males.
Oh, that's true as well. I mean, well, we didn't. Well, I guess the thing is like some of the characters. I feel like some people that were. I'm not gonna say names. Some people that were in The Liar really screwed themselves over for future roles.
Oh, like who?
No, I'm not gonna say. Some of them really screwed
You think
themselves
so?
over for future roles. Well, yeah, because you had a whole semester to prepare for your lines, and yet you didn't know them
Yeah.
on the stage, on the performance. And it's even worse because you were speaking in, what was it? It wasn't iambic pentameter. Was it iambic
It
pentameter?
was. It was
Yeah.
iambic pentameter. I don't know. It wasn't Shakespeare. Was the
Mm.
thing.
But
It was
like,
another author.
yeah, so like the whole thing, that's even worse, is that you don't know your lines, and so it's almost impossible to improv unless you're like him, you're Shakespeare up there.
Yeah.
Which actually, I remember, I can't remember his name, but there was a character that actually did improv in iambic pentameter,
Yes.
ran off stage,
Yes.
and then grabbed a script.
That's probably the most yeah,
Yeah,
impressive story of the whole show. I think that itself lifted the whole thing. I mean, yeah, I heard it was good too. I wasn't in the audience. I didn't see that one, but I heard it was impressive.
Oh yeah, it was something, and it was like it was a lot similar to. Do you remember that one scene in the other show Radiant Girls we did?
Yeah.
That one scene where one of our actors, her cue line had already passed and she wasn't coming on stage.
Yes.
And so it's just like me and two other actors, and we're just going back and forth with lines and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna recheck to see if they had ice cream walking off stage.
Yep.
You need to get on
Yes,
stage. Get on stage.
because again, not naming names, but because yes, I was Mr. Reader, the man responsible, really, for the deaths of all those women and those side effects, radium and all that. And correct me if I'm wrong, there was not a laugh in that script. I don't think. Obviously, it wasn't a comedy, but I don't remember the audience laughing.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Yeah, because I think some of the
There might
wasn't
be clever quips, but they don't get a laugh.
probably near the beginning. Yeah, no, there's
Right.
not any laughs.
It's a pretty dry and just depressing. It's a drama,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a boardroom scene coming. You know what I mean? So you have to in a sense, you have to act in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Elf, we're having fun. There's some acting in Camp Rock. No one was acting in that one. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
But in Radiant Girls, you had to act, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, his stocking shelves over there.
Yep.
The boardroom scene was coming up, and I was going over lines and everything, and I did this thing where I was backstage pacing and please, if you can, don't talk to me.
Leave me
I'm
alone.
trying to remember. And yeah, she's in the wings, and I can see you on stage, and she turns to me, "Is it time yet?" And you would think that this was a week one of rehearsals, and I go, "What do you mean? What?" And then I remember you coming off stage and grabbing her, and I was like, "This could have been a catastrophe."
Well, I can't say much either because there was another performance that week where I wasn't needed because I didn't even speak in the scene. I wasn't really needed, but I went off stage and I forgot to come back on in my cue line, and that was the thing. I guess in that sense, it wasn't exactly the same because I wasn't actually needed, but I did miss that cue line, and so I just completely I just did not come back on stage when I was supposed to.
Missing cue lines. I want to say it was only rehearsal. That had to have happened to me in rehearsals at one point.
That whole rehearsal for the show was a nightmare.
Do you remember taking that to competition?
I do, yeah. I remember because due to lack of time, we had to shave a lot of it, which probably hurt us a lot as well.
I remember that they then they had to cut probably one of the best characters of the play to shrink it down, which is your character.
Yeah, I think I what they did. I don't think they cut my character completely. Did they?
Tom?
Yeah. Is that
I
they
thought
cut
they
the they
took
well they
Tom out.
they cut the whole breakup scene. I remember that.
Yes.
Maybe-
I had thought maybe they cut the character
Maybe they
because
did.
you switch roles.
Okay.
Neff?
Yes. I was Neff, and I had to be a reporter as well if I was still in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You
yeah,
wore a few different hats in that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang,
Well,
I missed that show.
That's by the way, Doug's favorite.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask him?
He told me.
Did he actually?
He volunteered that. Yeah.
When were you guys talking about that?
He quite enjoyed that when we were out spending the day with him.
Oh,
We were moving my dad. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He never told me. So,
Mhm.
which to be fair, he's not a musical guy. You know, he's not. He doesn't really like
Probably
music.
why he liked it so much.
I mean, yeah, it was. It inspired me to read the book, and the book was very good.
Even the book was very good. Even if I had started humming, walking on stage into a scene, he was probably like, I start humming. He's like, "Oh, really?
He's like a movie critic, but like it's like those how any kind of critics like when they get into their field, it's like any little thing they're like, oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah.
Actually, I keep seeing
For it.
I keep seeing clips of like movie clips come on my feed, and one of them's like Ratatouille, and so he's like, what will you be having, sir? I would like some fresh perspective. Send me whatever he's like dares to send me, and then he's like eating the Ratatouille. I always thought those were pepperonis.
So did
They were
I.
on there.
I
Yeah.
tried to make it as a kid. I'm like, this isn't really all that great. I don't know what he was raving about.
Yeah, it's like
Who cooked that ratatouille? I demand to know. That line always got me.
oh my gosh.
You know, one show that gets swept under the rug quite a bit, The Odd Couple. You know, hit TV show and a movie. Someone is maybe I think they already did it, but this was The Odd Couple female version. You and I were in 2 scenes, the only guys in there.
Yeah.
And KTK St. Louis also just did The Odd Couple female version.
Did they?
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to I sent it to you, and I went to Jaden. I'm like, okay, I know I said, after Smoke on the Mountain, I'm not really gonna do another one for a while. Like, but I could reprise my role here.
You
And
imagine.
people far and wide that have seen me in the Odd Couple female version, all 10 of them, they could have a chance to see it again.
What a show. What a show. Did you see it? Like with the KTK doing it?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't see it.
Because I imagine it would be like 10 times better.
Oh, I imagine.
It's just
so.
because you can't do
Probably
a Neil,
astronomically.
you
better.
can't do a Neil Simon show, but then like censor all of it because that's like half the humor. You know that was part of the problem.
Man, there's a pattern going on because they did The Liar, Miss, not good. Our senior year, they're probably quivering in their boots, scared that they were gonna have another mishap. But we had Midsummer Night's Dream. I thought that was pretty solid.
It was a fun show to do.
That
Of course,
was fun.
it was. You were inherently not going to get tons of people. I think just because it's Shakespeare.
Yeah.
You know? But it was still fun to do.
But it was solid.
Yeah.
People knew their lines. Neil Simon and The Odd Couple tanked.
Yeah. It was not. Well, it wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't even that. I don't want to say it wasn't that good of a show. But again, you compare that to Rumors. You know.
That's
Exactly.
exactly.
And you have like a black and white, same author,
That's
same
good.
artist, black and white, and it's like
the closest I ever felt to being in the audience of Saturday Night Live.
because it was such a funny show.
Yeah.
Like I think The Odd Couple wouldn't have been that, but it could have been closer to that if you just didn't butcher the script.
You should tell the story of that night. That night.
Are you talking about Rumors?
Yeah.
Oh, Well, I don't know how to do a good synopsis of the show, but essentially the last scene, because I actually did this for a final in theater. I ended up doing this. Of course I had to cut it up because I had to like shorten it a lot. But he has to come up with, the main character, or one of the main characters has to come up with a lie on the spot to connect all the dots of
Yeah.
of everything that's happened, all the absurdities that happened. And so this guy that we acted with, he gets on stage and he's doing the monologue, and I think me, you, and Sebastian have such obnoxious laughs, and so and
Yeah.
so that's the problem, is that we're dying laughing, and he can't get the words out because he's all of a sudden he's going through it, and you see him smiling. He's
'Cause
like,
he knows us. He's acting
yeah,
with us.
he's trying to do his lines and he can't do it. So there's like a whole like 10-15 second pause. But it wasn't dead silent. It was because the whole audience was laughing because he couldn't get the lines out.
They would just like echo us.
Yeah, because
We
they
would
would,
laugh harder, making him laugh harder,
and he
making
couldn't,
them laugh harder.
and then he couldn't do the lines, so that
Yeah.
we'd be laughing, and that was I think they said that Meyer in the back was stressing because he wasn't getting.
Oh, I looked back. Yeah. No, I looked back.
But oh my gosh, I rewatched that because that was, again, the pacing. I think a problem too is a lot of those like comedies is pacing, because you get a lot of those. It's funny because the lines are very quick, the jokes are very quick.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Odd Couple. The jokes weren't quick. The pacing wasn't good. The jokes were also butchered and watered down. They didn't have their kick. You know, like the joke about like the two brothers being like gay, but he's like, oh, they think they see us sleeping, like they see us sleeping nude or something like that and think we're
Yeah,
gay.
short.
But he goes, oh, I have to X this and put in our shorts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a high school play.
He is sleeping in our shorts.
But
Yeah,
I get it.
but there was racy stuff in rumors that he didn't cut.
Well, I think he learned his lesson. I think that's why he didn't. I think
He learned his lesson.
Well, I think they say I think I was told they cut an F bomb out.
Mhm.
Because then again, it's like also with Dr. Sherp, like, the principal coming to watch it, which is actively in charge of your funding, they got to make sure that it's not going to tick him off, because
But wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that would cause an uproarious laughter?
it would have. But then again, also high school parents too. I feel like, man, I almost pity high school teachers.
You probably have some that like gasp and clutch their pearls.
Oh yeah,
But
because my child is saying that.
I saw a friend of mine in a production of South Pacific at Festus. They didn't censor that one at all.
Hmm.
And it was amazing. I was far and away, I think, the best high school production I've seen.
Really.
And they've performed at the Fox. Like they've won competition and everything, but it was great. They didn't censor. Um, and yeah, I came back and I was like, it was probably right around Odd Couple time too. And I was just upset.
Well, I feel like that's the problem with high school. You have to, like I said, I sometimes I feel bad for some high school teachers because they really have to wrestle with not only the administration but also the parents,
Sure.
which can very much want very different things. And with any kind of show, if you're doing an adaptation of something or even just doing a show in general, you should pick a show that you know you can do basically everything in. Not necessarily like you can be creative set wise or make something work, but when you have to start touching the script,
Yeah.
it's like you lose the heart and soul of it.
Do another show. Because if you're rewriting half of it, you know what I mean?
You're kind of making your own show at that point.
You're making your own
Rewrite.
show. Just do another show, which is um I think if you don't know how to choose a show when you're doing high school theater, if you don't know how to choose a show based off who you have in your class, in the cast, you're asking for a world of hurt.
Yeah, because the actors won't be good in their roles, or you'll have to work with what you have. It's like, again, it's like certain shows,
Yeah.
like if you don't have, this is the first example I think of. If you don't have a strong black lead, then you can't do oh crap, I'm sorry, Shakespeare play.
Othello.
Othello, yes, I knew it started with an O.
Can't do Othello.
Can't do Othello.
And they tried that.
Mhm.
some I don't know, it was off Broadway. They had like Sir Patrick Stewart play like a race swapped Othello.
Which actually, I didn't think that was bad actually.
No?
If you do Patrick Stewart, if you make it to where he's the only white guy, everyone else is black, I actually don't think that's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, I think Meyer or someone else was
Well,
talking to us about that. I think because it's like,
because they kept wanting to do Hairspray.
yeah, and it's like you can't really do Hairspray. We're Jefferson County. We don't
Terrible
really do it.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like because like if you race swap something, it's like because in Othello they poke at his race a lot,
Yeah.
and it's like it makes sense in that sense. It's like preferably he be black. However, if he is a different race than the rest of the cast, it still works.
It works.
But like with Hairspray, with it being, I know Othello's a timepiece, but Hairspray even more
What
so.
are you gonna change? You gotta go in the script and rewrite Negro Day? You can't
Yeah,
do that.
put some other name in there, depending on what race of
Yeah,
people.
exactly. They just they
Yeah.
wanted a few people wanted to do that, and it's like you don't understand how we can't do this.
Yeah, you like
That the story relies on that. It's the 60s. You know what I mean? Civil rights and everything. Like that was a huge part of the show. It's like how in the world, just because you want to play Tracy Turnblatt and you want to dance, doesn't give you.
yeah, you can't like do a play about Martin Luther King Jr. and then be like, oh well, let's make him white. It's like no,
I
you
love
can't.
60s dancing, the mashed potato. Why can't we do this show?
It's like oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
There's certain shows you just need a certain cast for.
you know what? Let me say I'm just gonna say this, and then if you want to expound on it, you can. But I just don't. All I'm gonna say is that Jay and I recently attended Beetlejuice, the musical. It was amazing. It was phenomenal, and he broke the fourth wall a lot, which is lends itself to a lot of the comedy. But he made a joke, and he said, "Oh man, I can't remember the setup exactly, so it won't hit. But I'll say it for the sake of saying it. But um, he basically just like took a crap on Brigadoon,
Did he?
and it's just like F Brigadoon.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah,
He said that.
yes.
Oh my god.
Jaden's favorite joke in the whole thing. 'Cause I think she could not identify with something more.
Well, that's so funny because like, what are the chances that he would say that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And my jaw dropped, and I was like,
No way.
at least it's not boring like Brigadoon. Something. It was something along those lines.
That's awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly a high school show you could do.
It's
Well,
certainly
I'll
is.
say this. I'll say this. There were like, for context, our high school did Brigadoon. We weren't a part of it, and we went to go see it. To be fair, it was cool they were trying new things. It was cool that like they were trying
New old things.
still cool, Yeah,
No,
it's
for
just
sure,
like
for sure.
they had accents. I thought that was cool. Like some of them kept their accent the entire time.
Some of them did, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Others
And,
gave up.
yeah, and some of them kept their accents the whole time, and some
Yeah.
of the dancing numbers were kind of cool because they were like more traditional.
There was a
Um,
standout, yeah.
Yeah, but then the mics were working against them, and some of the actors were like working against it too.
Oh, this yeah, and they recently did High School Musical on stage.
Which actually, I was told their like Sunday matinee was like insane with how many people they had.
And that's the one I was gonna try to go to, but we didn't end up being able to go. They got the mics that hang down right there on your
Really?
forehead, yeah.
That's awesome. They got-
Didn't help at all.
Oh, did
No. But
you gotta get the mics to just clip on your shirt.
yeah.
That would work.
Eventually we gotta just have the big bulky like, when they come down and
Mhm.
yeah.
Which would be better than some of the other ones. That reminds me, I got to do. That reminds me of like wearing bulky stuff, like in like I see a picture of it on your dresser of Clue, and we did Clue
Yeah.
in college, and they made like I was like one of the only people on stage that like didn't have like the COVID vaccine, so I had to wear like this like clear plastic mask kind of like over my face while I was doing the show. And that was okay. It was annoying.
Remind me, during performances?
Yeah. So like during rehearsals,
Should have been,
not during Hell Week, but during rehearsals, I could wear like a mask, and sometimes take it down when I was saying lines. But during performances, I had like I think it was somewhere in my truck. I think I threw it away eventually. It was like this giant clear mask that I wore that was yeah, and that was also because that was like one of the shows I had to die on stage,
Yeah.
and then I had to be on the stage until it ended. And so, I'm never taken off. So I had to find a way to die where it would be comfortable while wearing the mask. It felt like a muzzle almost. I'm like, come on, guys. I don't know.
I really wanted to have it be as like real as possible. So I died, I fell on the ground, and then I died with my eyes open
Oh,
to
really?
make it a little creepy. But then they didn't wheel me away for a good few
Yeah,
minutes.
because
So and I didn't blink, but I was in pain.
like that episode of Regular Show. I just saw a clip of it. Like, was it Peeps or something like that?
Yeah.
Where he has like the giant eye. He's like
Mhm.
watching them all. And
Oh,
then, like,
yeah.
a staring contest at the end. Which actually, I think the new show comes out.
Just dropped today
It dropped today.
on HBO
Okay.
Max. Yeah.
The new's coming out soon.
Yep, the 11th. Yeah.
Man.
Um, I got a lot of complaints from our peers when we were acting together about my improv during shows. Even eventually, like, hey, if it's not on the page,
Like Camp Rock specifically.
but I never listened. I would do it basically after sophomore year, I would do it in just about every show. But Camp Rock,
I remember.
Rock is the easiest thing ever because we're just playing ourselves. And I would
Yeah,
get complaints about, like, hey, man. But I wouldn't do it if, like, I'd throw a line in there and it would get a laugh. And so I would keep doing it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And
Well, Camp Rock, it's like even the movie. I went to go see the movie. I only saw the second one. I never saw the first one.
yeah,
The second movie, it was like I don't I don't think I ever saw it as a kid. So I watched it for the first time as an adult. And it wasn't that good. The music was good.
no,
The,
it's
but the actual like plot wasn't that
you've
great.
seen the video of like one where she's testing out like her, I don't even know what skill to call it. I want to say keyboard, but and does a bunch of like whatever. She's really good.
Yeah. Like yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Um, and then I wanted to do it on stage. You know that dance they do? They're like
Oh yeah.
Camp Rock, and then
Yep.
they're like
Yep.
throwing their hands around, doing the Macarena. Like, oh man, yeah. Like, and that's the thing is that like you could improv for that show because it was heavily reliant on the music. The plot really didn't matter all that much.
No.
But that was a fun show to do though because of that. It was kind of like not don't want to be improv central, but you could. It'd be if you forgot your lines, it'd be so easy to improv.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just to kind of carry it along.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I overdid it. I don't think I did. I just throw in a quip here and there that just felt like it needed, and people would giggle. People would laugh at it. If they didn't enjoy it, I would have stopped it.
I remember actually because I remember rehearsals. You would change up your quips that you would give, just like it was like
Yeah.
what was the song? Because we rock,
Oh,
dog.
the
And
last one.
in between, you were like, "Can't you, Jack?" or something like that. Like you would interject. Or it would frustrate me too. Actually, 'cause I remember at rehearsals, I was like, "Why?"
Because no one look at the show. We're basically playing caricatures of high school students of ourselves.
Yeah.
And there's this camaraderie. I think that show was the closest I felt to having like family
Mm.
in the cast, especially that this is our song.
Oh yeah.
If it felt, like, there's no substance to the show. And the audience, we had a decent audience for that one. They just want to be entertained. And so
did that.
I lost my mind a few times, like heart and soul. I didn't give a rip.
I feel like we had the most audience participation in that show. Is because it's like, and actually we did that one like we played one of the songs for a high school assembly.
But I could see how it could get out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, this guy shut up.
Well, what I was gonna say was I feel like that's like we had the most like remember we did Heart and Soul for the high school
The assembly, yeah.
and then people were cheering afterward.
Mhm.
I was not expecting like the high school to cheer because I remember the last matinee kind of thing we did for them, and that was three is a magic number or one of those from like Oh my gosh, that was embarrassing to do in front of.
Yeah,
my wife.
I would have never, I would have never really agreed to that if I had a choice to do it in front of the whole school.
Didn't really have a choice, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, they had a good time with it. That's a number where, you know, screw the choreography. I'm just gonna jump around and do whatever weird thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, for some of them, they kind of called for that too.
That got my Jack Black Superlative Award. So
Because you really wanted to do School of Rock, and
yeah.
that would have been fun.
Oh, I was also the publicist at the time, and I kept alluding to School of Rock. And so when it came out that it was Camp Rock, a lot of people were mad at me then too.
Yeah,
Now that I'm talking about it, it makes sense why a lot of people were mad at me.
because I rage baited them. I don't understand why
Because
they're
I
mad.
rage baited them. Yeah.
I don't get why they're mad.
Yeah.
But
And of course, all of that capping out with our last show, which was
oh,
Frozen, that
Frozen.
never saw the light of day. I mean, eventually it did, but just
just
in
not
a
with
different form.
not with the intended cast.
Mhm.
Because I think director said that he picked it specifically because he had a lot of us in mind.
The cast of Dude.
Yeah.
And we actually, it was the first time that I can remember where our roles were swapped. Because we kind of played the same guys
Mm.
in shows.
Yeah, it very much typecasted.
And it was the first time I was the heroic type and you were the villain.
And that was so much fun.
And it was pretty exciting to be that.
So it was a shame that we
Gotta
didn't
say,
do it.
because
That was fun.
I just was a bunch of angry, greedy men in our shows. But one of my favorites that going along with that one that never saw the light of day was the duet that we had.
Yeah, for speech and debate.
Yeah,
That was fun. Do you still have that script?
I think I do, but I could find it. I would love to do. Yeah,
Well, just for context of what it was a script where me and you were roommates, and there was like what used to be a potato in the back of the fridge for like several months, and we were trying to figure out what it was because it was like just grew hair and all that. In the script, did we try it, or was it just we're like looking at it a lot? It's been so long, I can't remember.
we tried it.
Oh, we tried it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We started because we did everything ourselves. There was a speech and debate coach ready if we wanted that resource. We did everything ourselves. We rehearsed it. We tried different voices. We would talk about like direction and blocking and everything.
Oh, I meant like, did we in the script did we try a bite of the potato?
Oh, the potato. Sorry.
I can't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think we ever got to biting it.
Okay. But that was.
But yeah,
I wish we could have performed that as well. Man,
oh,
COVID
for sure.
COVID just ended a lot.
Going back to what I was saying, like the first time we did it in front of the coach, she was laughing
Mm.
quite a bit and was saying like this is like would you just need like polish on this and you're good to go.
We had something with it, and then COVID's like.
It would have been great. I think so, yeah.
Speaking of COVID, did you see the talks about that other virus on that like cruise ship?
Oh yeah. The
Hata virus. or
hate a
something?
virus from rat droppings or rodent droppings, yeah. Urine.
I saw tons of memes being like tons of memes being like, man, they shouldn't have let it dock. They should have just burned the boat. Just burned the boat down. Yeah. Which actually,
Some hero would have stepped up.
this is, and I hate to pivot this. It just reminded me. I'm thinking of current events. Did you see the new hotel in like Florida and like the Trump statue?
Is that real?
That's real. That's not AI. There's a golden statue of Trump doing this.
From the assassination attempt?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's doing that. Yeah, I think it's an allusion to it. And they did like a little.
Doing the Rocky pose?
Yeah, they did like a ribbon cutting ceremony. It's a gold Trump.
No, I thought
And-
that was AI. I thought it was a joke.
No, it's real. And it's down there.
No way.
Which means we have to take a road trip to
Oh
see
my
the golden
gosh.
Trump.
I'm going to Florida in July on vacation for
You
the
gotta-
first
you
time.
gotta stop by it.
I
Maybe you'll get like good luck. It's like one
Oh
of those
my
statues you get.
God.
It's like
Rub it.
Get good luck. It's like those
Oh.
statues. Have you seen those like statues around the world where it's like there's like certain spots on them that are like rubbed raw.
Oh yeah. And it's yeah.
Because there was like I think there was a statue made of a poet.
Some people are rubbing hard.
So the thing is that the statue, there was like a legend with, he was a young man, he was killed or something happened, he died. So there's a statue of him lying down. And the thing is that there's like a local folk legend that if you like rub the crotch of it, or specifically women, if you rub the crotch of it, or even sit on it, you'll have,
Wow.
it's almost like a fertility thing. You'll have better luck getting pregnant.
Wow.
And so if you go
Okay.
there, the crotch is a different color than the rest of the statue.
Yeah.
They had to build fences so people would stop. And it's the same thing. There's another thing with a woman where there's a woman statue and like she has like one of her breasts out and people are rubbing.
No way.
Yeah, for some
Wow.
kind of good luck or something. And it's like they had to build fences around so people would stop touching the statue. So I feel like that
Oh,
would be like the same
man.
thing, the same thing for like the Trump statue where it's like
They have to fortify it because people keep
I need to touch the golden Trump.
the golden Trump crotch.
People are like
Send me good luck.
people are trying to compare it to like they're trying to compare it to like Nebuchadnezzar's statue, and you know, in like in Daniel, or they're trying to compare it to the golden calf in like the Old Testament, which I think is really funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
This is like full circle thinking about the bunny song
yeah. Which
we were
actually,
talking about earlier.
speaking of folk legends, again, I keep hopping around, but I was listening to a podcast. Well, I was able to be at work and prep by myself for a while.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to a podcast, and there is, I forget what it's called. It's in one of the Nordic countries, probably like Sweden or something, where there was a tradition where they wanted to bring more people to the town, like back in the 70s.
Yeah.
60s or 70s. And so they made this like straw goat, or this massive goat, of like
Huh.
Guinness Book of World Records kind of goat.
Yeah.
And they don't know how, but it burned down. And so they made it again the next year, and then someone intentionally burned it down. And every year following, up until up until today, it's almost a task of people. They try to like the officials. They don't want it burned down, but the locals have made it a point to try to destroy it.
Yeah.
I'm talking like it's been destroyed almost 30 times, and they keep rebuilding.
And they keep going.
They keep trying to rebuild it.
Resilience.
They tried to make it flame retardant. They've tried to make it. 'Cause one time they had guards around it. Someone shot a flaming arrow
This
into
time-
it, and it burned it down.
This time it's soaked in kerosene.
There is a website where you can bet on almost anything. Well, in this website, you can bet on if it's going to be burned down this year or not. If
Yeah.
it's going to be destroyed or not.
Yeah.
People try to destroy it. Someone tried to have like attach a little flamethrower to a drone. He tried to burn it down. And there was accounts of these. So there's Americans, right? And some Americans come over, and there was an American that burned it down and was arrested. And he literally said, he goes, I thought it was like a tradition. I thought you guys wanted it to get. I thought it was a thing where you guys wanted it to get.
I thought it was an inside, yeah.
And that happened twice with two Americans doing that. I think one actually paid
Yeah.
a fine and one didn't. He just left. He just left the country. But
Yeah.
it is so funny because like you'll see every single year. Some years it's preserved, but most years it just gets burned down. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like the day after it's built. And it's so funny to me. I forget exactly. I'm sure if you
Yeah.
looked it up you could find it. But
Well, we've been babbling for seems like forever now.
so interesting that Jaden left.
Yeah. She left a while ago. She was Jaden. Yeah.
And even when
not
she was here,
impressed.
she just built shelves.
Was not. Yeah. She was not into this at all.
No.
And she left a while ago because she was not entertained. Those Gen Zers and their TikTok attention spans. That gives me hope. That's good. Well, we got to wrap this up. I spent a lot talking to James about his theater history, his experience, his early experience with acting.
We didn't even talk about
I
projects.
No, which means that there needs to be a part 2.
Yes.
Talking about current projects that we're about to enter production in, another feature, which I thought I wouldn't do it again for another 10 years with my experience with the last feature.
Yeah. 2 years. That was a long time.
2.5 years of making it, 3 before it released.
And it's done. And
It's done,
And the next
and
one,
it's out there. And yeah, The next one will better be better. So I'll be talking to James again soon about his film experience after high school with me.